What's goody to any and everybody who may be listening? We're gonna go ahead and be calling this good old energy, my energy, the light sparks, my babies, the ones that I set up there and was spitting out of my body. We're gonna be going ahead and calling those sparks back to the Trinity in one body, which is myself, the mother, the father, and the child. Okay. Now let's go ahead and call these parts back to from these institutions, especially these motherfucking hospitals, these doctors and shit, because they ain't got no business being here. We up in death culture. They getting paid for some shit that my light sparks was caught up in that money too. They getting paid for nothing because we are in death culture. Upwards in the body, this did not happen. We had the tools and we had the resources that we needed to heal the body. If something should have ever happened to the body, which nothing started to happen until we got lower in the body into the sacral. But anyway, let's call back these pieces, baby. My babies. Okay, because bitch, I'm being selfish. I'm being selfish now. Y'all wanted to steal. Y'all wanted to disrespect me. Y'all wanted to take some shit and especially had these bitches disrespecting me. The men I could handle, but these motherfucking I can handle both of them. But the bitches made it more of a problem for me watching them have these babies and they babies themselves and raising them wrong. So let's call them back. Let's go ahead with the institutions. I decree and declare my soul energy, all of my light sparks, all of my babies that belong to me and only me, be removed from the following areas and arenas and brought back to me, the mother, the father, and the child. Healthcare systems, health insurance, and I'm talking about all of them. They ain't nothing but greedy monsters out there for the motherfucking dollar. Life insurance, of course, life insurance. What the fuck you got life insurance for? And we in death culture. This is how they wanted it to be. This system that you caught up in. That's six sides to the same die. They all work together. Even if they seem like they are opposing, they work together. Such as the church and the Illuminati. They are one and the same. Okay? Hospitals, of course, because they taking up a lot of my motherfucking light sparks with that bullshit they got down there, because people should not be getting sick. Every time I get sick, I get mad. Okay, because I ain't got no business getting sick in the first place. Take my light sparks up out of these motherfucking hospitals. Any sort of monuments and statues and flags or anything of that nature. The computers, the databases, the machines, the medicines. I decree and declare my light sparks coming up out of that and returning on home to me, where they are surely missed, because those are my babies, and they were not intended to be used for such trivial matters as these illnesses and all this shit down here within this chaos and death culture. So hospitals, hospices, pain clinics, doctors' offices, dentist offices. Oh, don't even get me started on these motherfucking trifling ass dentists. Or either this torture that I endured in between lifetimes with these motherfuckers going all up in my palate, doing what they did with my teeth, which was just an illusion, because I didn't have this physical body at that time, but still, that was some witchcraft and magic that they was doing up on that ship in between this lifetime, where I came down here and had to suffer from teeth, with my teeth and things of this nature, dentist offices. Take my light sparks up out of these motherfucking dentist offices. Take my light sparks up out of the fear surrounding going to the dentist. And bring them on home to the mother, the father, and the child. How long we in here? Okay, 5 minutes. Individual doctors, because many of them, most of them ain't nothing but soulless beings walking around here and ain't got no business being. What is a doctor in the first place? Again, upwards in the body, we had the knowledge and the wisdom and the skills that enabled us to heal our own bodies. The body was not as physical. Let's not even talk about the physicality of the body. Upwards in the upper chakras, the body was not as physical anyway. So there was no need for no doctors. I decree and declare my light sparks coming up out of all of these individual doctors, dentists, any and all of these motherfucking scientists that's overstepping their boundaries, looking for shit and ain't got no business out there looking for shit. Let me tell you something about science. Science is a very limited. Do I want to call it art? It's not even an art because it's very limited. Science could never know everything. They don't even know what's beneath the veil, which is what I'm giving you. What's beneath the veil is what's real. This shit right here that these scientists are discovering using my light sparks are not. This is an illusion. This is a simulation. I decree and declare that all of my light sparks are coming up out of all of these scientific discoveries and these scientists, especially NASA, and any of their workings that they are currently undertaking. Engineers, medical directors, specialists, any specialist. I'm talking about any specialist that's a doctor. I ain't gotta name you. Hunt them down, find them, and take my light sparks up out of them. Any and all specialists within the medical field. Okay? ER doctors. I don't care if you are a resident or an attending physician, bitch. Physician assistants, supervising physicians, nurses, especially those motherfucking trifling ass nurses. Them bitches should not be nurses, even if this was a valid system. Even if nursing and the medical field was a valid, quote, art, the individuals that's occupying these spaces are not qualified to occupy these spaces. Okay, Danielle Dozier, bitch, what are you doing being a nurse, girl? You shouldn't be a nurse, even though this is not a valid field anyway. And my light sparks are coming up out of the whole field. If it was valid, you would have no business being a nurse, girl, because you don't qualify. You don't have the compassion. You don't have the heart. Those are things that you need to be a nurse. You are devoid of both, Miss Thing. So, with you being a nurse and me going to the doctors all these years, because, girl, don't listen, and me seeing these nurses that are just like you, none of y'all belong in that field. Okay? Take all of my light sparks up out of every single one of these motherfucking trifling ass nurses that don't do nothing but sit up in them nurses' booth and talk shit about the patients and make faces about them and are unskilled. Take my light sparks out of every single one of these whores that got the nerve to be sitting up in there like they doing something and getting paid for nothing. Aside from the nurses, the motherfucking nurses, assistants, psychologists, because girl, you are not healed yourself. What are you doing sitting down in a seat, having the nerve to be listening to somebody telling you their problems when your body is full of black orbs, full of trauma, full of blockages that you don't even know is there? So you ain't got no business sitting down with nobody telling you their problems because you still not qualified. It don't matter how many years of quote school, because them schools is coming down too. Because bitch, they not teaching you the right information up in them schools. They are invalid themselves. So you don't have you are not qualified to be sitting in a seat listening to anybody tell you their problems and diagnose any sort of mental illnesses, which are all just illusions anyway. Take my light sparks up out of all of these supposed and so-called mental illnesses, which are nothing but different amounts of black orbs and dark matter up in the body of someone, affecting different regions of the body. Take my black orbs up out of all of these motherfucking mental illnesses as well. Okay. I mean my motherfucking light. See, take my light particles. I decree and declare that my light particles are coming up out of every single one of these black orbs anyway. But I'm gonna name go down the list. I decree and declare that my light sparks are coming up out of these so-called mental illnesses and being brought on home to the mother, the father, and the child, which is myself, for healing, for true healing and integration. Psychiatrists as well. Take my light sparks up out of these motherfucking psychiatrists who sitting up here diagnosing all this poison, these medicines. I decree and declare that my light sparks are coming up out of these medicines as well, and these psychiatrists that got the nerve to be prescribing them. Therapists. Again, this goes along with the psychologists. I ain't got to repeat what I just said about them. Chiropractors, any and all medicines. Again, not even just psychiatry. I'm talking about medical, physical. Okay. Opioids, arthritis, HIV medicines, drugs, anything. Okay, including but not limited to opioid medications, ADHD medications, HIV medication, herpes medications, wart medications, experiential drugs. These research shit. Take my light sparks up out of every single one of these research programs and make sure that they don't get no answers. Okay. I decree and declare that my light sparks are coming up out of all of these vaccines as well. The vaccines, janitors, the ones who are even mopping the floor within a hospital, and these doctor settings. Registration. Take my light sparks up out of all the motherfucking patients that go up in there and sit up in there when they need to know the wisdom and the knowledge and the how-tos. They don't know the wisdom and the knowledge and the how-to because of these motherfucking doctor settings and these individuals that are greedy for money. Again, I said generous patients, public schools. Now let's not get on these motherfucking public schools that are teaching your first of all, they are indoctrinating your children into this system right along with the Bible. They are indoctrinating your children. Matter of fact, you ain't got no children, but they are indoctrinating these children because you really don't have no children. Those are my children. My light sparks up in them bodies. Okay. Teaching these children wrong, indoctrinating them, shit that don't even matter, world history that's false and incorrect. They can't take none of this with them. All it does is because this is death culture. And what I mean by death culture, let me tell you what I mean by death culture. We are in death culture and reincarnation. You keep coming back to this place. You have no idea that you keep coming back because of this motherfucking death culture. They make it seem like you die and that's it. They give you that Bible, and that just puts the lid on it. So you don't even think to look and probe and investigate so that you can know who you are. You don't go down in your body. You just accept this system and their money and this consumption and all of this. This is death culture. These illnesses and these diseases are put here and they are not natural. Because I've said this so many times before that we did not experience these things upwards in the body, in the upper chakras. Okay. Alternative schools, any type of schools, but I'm gonna name them. What I just said, I ain't gotta repeat what I just said. This goes for any type of school. Private schools, preschools, daycare, colleges, universities, adult learning centers, libraries, principals, deans. Take my light sparks up out of all of these individuals that's sitting up here, up in these posts, that ain't got no business sitting up in the, cause ain't nan one of them got no business sitting up in them posts, cause it don't belong there. I didn't give birth to this for this. This ain't what I was going. This is not what I intended to create with my sparks. They were hijacked. Okay. Okay, colleges, universities, adult learning centers, libraries, principals, deans, teachers, counselors, again, counselors, the students themselves for being willing participants and stupid, going to school for nothing anyway. Broke, and think they ain't broke because they got money, but still broke. The students, even the custodians, because they work there, wasting their time working for this system, working there. Take my light sparks out of them custodians that work there too. Jails, especially jails, prisons. Oh my God, let's go ahead and speak on this right quick. These jails and these prisons that exist for nothing, because this is all brainwashing and mind control. Even down when you get down to the energy of the word sin, which I decree and declare my light sparks coming out of the energy alone of the word sin, which it ain't no motherfucking such thing as sin, because it's all really just human nature now that you have been taught by this brotherhood to be wild animals and to only look outside the body and to not love yourself, to neglect yourself, and to look for acceptance outside of yourself. It's what they taught you to do. So, okay, and this motherfucking money that they got, that they done created using my light sparks at that, for this chaos to ensue, that got motherfuckers not looking inside their bodies to deal with the mind control, to know that they are being mind controlled, to not have the willpower to know how to fight against it, because it's not about looking outward and fighting outwards and protesting and all that bullshit. That they energy harvesting that. It's about going within side of your body and knowing your own story and getting your ass up out of the matrix. Stop looking outside your body. Okay? And these police officers here for nothing because they gave y'all these motherfucking weapons. They gave unhinged individuals that are not healing, that are not going inside of their bodies, that do not know that there are blockages and all that shit inside their body, that do not know where all of this discontent come from, why they feel this lack, this emotional lack, and they looking for it outside of themselves. This is a part of that brainwashing and that mind control that got motherfuckers killing and stealing and doing all these crimes that winds them up in jail when they know the consequence of it. This is brainwashing and mind control, and the fact that the people are not healing, that they doing on purpose to harvest the energy. These are the individuals that need to be up in the jails and the prisons. But in any event, take my light sparks up out of every single one of these jails and prisons and things of this nature. Let's get on down to the sheriffs. Take my life sparks up out of every single one of these individuals. Sheriff deputies, police officers, FBI agents, CIA agents, security officers. Please take them up out of them with them egos that they got, bitch. Girl. Detention officers. Wardens, especially wardens, sitting up there got these people in prison. That's just wrong. And they over the prison, got people in prison for doing nothing but what this system taught them to do, and getting paid for nothing. Want control over somebody else's life. Want control so bad. That's not true power. True power does not come from being in control of somebody. Okay? The wardens, the probation and parole officers. Oh, please. All of these people that just want to be in control of somebody, girl. They're not even in control of themselves. Bitch, get in control of yourself. It's so many of y'all that y'all mind and y'all body are not in sync, and it need to be in sync first before you try to control somebody else. And you still don't even need to be trying to control nobody. Who else, honey? The inmates, the jail inmates that keep going on back up in there. Take my light sparks up out of them motherfucking jail inmates. I have barely any compassion for them. That keep taking their ass up in and out of jail. With to keep doing the same thing, knowing the consequences. And again, this is brainwashing and it is mind control. Any and all religions. Now we already done made a post about this, but let's do it again. Any and all of the religions that are stealing, that have stolen from me, that have worked alongside these satanic forces, baby, you would not believe the half of what I had to go through to get here right now, to be talking and saying this. The torture, the sexual assaults, the molestations, the stealing, the killing, the setups. Okay? All of these motherfucking religions, they all false and they all keep you stuck here. Anything having to do with a group is just not, you don't need to be involved with any. I mean, it's okay to socialize and have a friend or two, and but you need to know when to be alone too. There's a time to be alone. You need to be spending more time alone than you are with groups. I mean, I'm talking about groups in general, but these group religions especially, you are being led the wrong way. Your spiritual journey is personal. Where you have been is where you have been. Ain't nobody else been where you been. Your story is your story. These religions that ain't doing nothing but preaching, especially the Christian religion, they don't do nothing but preach about the greatness of whoever this Lord is. It ain't no whoever this Lord. I know who that Lord they talking about is. Wish I decree and declare my life sparks coming up out of the energy of the word Lord. I decree and declare that my light sparks are coming out of that Lord, that demon, period. And I'll be in return home to the mother, the father, and the child in one body. One body, myself. Okay. Let's go on down to churches. Churches are here for nothing. They are here because they need the hopeless people to come to them. They need people to be hopeless and thinking that they sinners and not loving themselves so they can come on down to the church and give them that money so they can preach about nothing up in that pulpit. preaching about nothing but lies and how great the Lord is and how, bitch, where are the teachings? Where are the teachings at? Where is the wisdom? We need the wisdom. We need to know how to do things. Not preaching about the egos and these parables, this confusion and this chaos. Okay? Do you know Yeshua? Because you don't know Yeshua. The problem is you don't know Yeshua. You know what you have been told about Yeshua. That's the problem. The real Yeshua, baby, you will be shocked. Because he's nothing like what you've been told he's like. Number one, he's a rebel. Number two, he is the most hated. Because he is a rebel and sovereign. Okay? He was a targeted individual at that. He hunted down. And his own mammy, who is labeled as a saint, Mary, helped them track him down and get him captured, which was part of the reason for why his heart closed. I decree and declare all of my light sparks coming up out of that harlot and that pathological liar, Mary, and the pappy, Joseph, as well. And coming on home to the mother, the father, and the child, which is myself, permanently across all realms, timelines, and dimensions. I decree and declare the energy of any Marys or Josephs banished from my energy field and his forevermore across all realms, timelines, and dimensions. Okay? And again, if Yeshua don't need no churches to talk for him. The world would not be in this state. Let me tell you something. You wonder why the world is in this state? It's because Yeshua ain't here. Do you know why Yeshua ain't? Yeshua is here. Do you know why his powers ain't working? Yet? Because his heart ain't open. Do you know why his heart ain't open? All the way because of what they did to him. Because of Mary and Joseph. Really? Not just that, but the molestations, the dark magic, and all of that. His energy being bound up. However, if his energy was at its purest and finest, the world would not even be in this state that it's in right now. There would be no homeless people at all. There would be no sick. There would be no mentally ill. None of that would be existing in the presence of the Yeshua. Girl, wake up. Okay? So, take my light sparks out of all of these churches. That's there for nothing. The church clergymen, all of them. Okay? The Vatican. I done already spoke about the Vatican, but let's talk about it again. I decree and declare my light sparks coming up out of the Vatican. Go all up in the building. I'm talking about every statue, every symbol, every column, every piece of paint on the wall, every wall. Go up underneath it. Go into the basement. Go into the secret rooms and the compartments. If you can't find it, hunt it down like Google. And take my light sparks up out of it and bring it on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay? The Pope. Now, this trifling ass, child molesting, or adrenochrome needing ass motherfucker, the Pope, who I know for a fact molests children, because I was one of them children. Take my light sparks up out of that Pope. Okay, his predecessors, every single one of them before, and it ain't gonna be no after. But in the case that it is after, okay, across every realm, timeline, and dimension, archbishops, bishops, reverends, pastors, preachers, ministers, all of them are in line with a demonic regime. All of them are false prophets. All of them have been lying to you. All of them have been deceiving you. It's not about you catching one up in a scandal or two or three, because how many scandals have we had with these ministers and these motherfucking pastors? But it seems like you always forget, because of that brainwashing and that mind control and that witchcraft that they putting on you daily, that you always forget about these scandals that these pastors are caught up in. It's not just one of them. It's not just 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hell, it's been a million of them. It ain't just them. It's the whole religion. The whole religion. Because ain't nobody perfect. Everybody is doing what they were taught to do by this system. So it's like these people are not healing up in these posts that are reverends and preachers and pastors. They don't even know how to heal. They just talk shit and judge. And they are not ordained at all, because whatever schooling they getting or certificates they getting are not valid. Take my light sparks. I decree and declare all of my light sparks coming up out of all of that shit. These ministers, those certificates, the schools that give them to them, theology, all of my light sparks coming up out of all of these schools and these preachers and these pastors and these unfit to be leaders, because they are full of black orbs still. Take my light sparks up out of them and bring them on home to the mother, the father, and the child. I decree and declare it. Okay. Let's get on down. Okay, it's for deacons too, because all they do is sit up there thinking they doing something, thinking they special or elite, bitch. Bye. That shit is Masonic. That whole religion is Masonic, girl. You done stole from a true divine being. You stole from the Most High. And trying to uphold this God that y'all upholding, this God that's written up in this Bible. That curse. That cursed book. That damned book. That grimoire. Sit back down, deacon. And take my light sparks up out of all of these motherfucking deacons. Looking stupid. A lot of them got sitting up there with jerry curls, or the suit don't even fit, and the mind and the body out of sync as well. And they got the nerve to be sitting up there with the mind, bitch. Girl, light sparks, come on home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay, we got more things to do. We got things to do than sit up here in this system, then act like wild animals and be like them. We are not of them. Let's get on down to the and the ushers. Banks. We already talked about banks, but we gonna talk about this. Banks. Take my life talks about these motherfucking banks. All of them. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, any international banks. Chase, Capital One. I don't gotta name all the different brands of banks, but take my light sparks up out of all of this money and banks, and bring the banks with them. When you come with the light sparks, bring the banks with them and bring the money with them. I decree and declare that money is coming with my light sparks when they come, and they are coming immediately. Okay, the banks, bank unions, any mortgages, real estate, houses. Take my light sparks up out of that and bring them on home to the mother, the father, and the child, and bring the houses with them. Okay. The FDIC. I decree and declare my light sparks coming up out of that FDIC and coming on home to the mother, the father, and the child. Bank tellers, loan officers, analysts, and financial analysts. Or how would you say that? Take my light sparks out of them. Bank managers, credit cards. I decree and declare that all of my light sparks that are stashed within these credit cards and these credit limits are removed immediately and brought back home to the mother, the father, and the child. I decree and declare all of my light sparks coming up out of these debit cards, I said mortgages, checks, any checks. Bring my light sparks from up out of them checks, all of that money. Bring the money with it. Bring the money with them. It's coming too. If my light sparks is caught up in it, it's mine. Bring it home to the mother, the father, and the child. And to go along with this, anything that I just said before, any of my light sparks that are caught up in the computers and the databases, the IT, all of that, go down within it, and hunt for any light sparks that might be hidden within anywhere that I've spoken, and bring them on home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.